It's time to mount this kick-ass bridge from Hipshot onto the piece base. We're getting started right now. Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. And we're going to continue on with the piece base build today. Last time we drilled the holes for the neck plate, and there it is, the piece base peace sign neck plate from Icon Plates. Now, in the meantime, I sanded the gloss finish off the back of this neck and off the front. I replaced the nut with a Graph Tech nut, which was a pain in the ass, and I'm glad I didn't do it on the video because they had it glued in with enough glue to hold the whole guitar together, and it broke trying to pull it out. It was a mess. But anyway, so I mounted this on here so we can mount the base. Now the other things I've done, I've already done all this. I've already measured it out, but I'm going to show you how I did it. I took, the first step was to take masking tape and put it all over the area on the top where I'm going to be working. So you don't have to draw pencil lines directly onto the guitar. And then what we do next is, very important step is when the bridge is on here, you need a ground wire for the bridge. So I had to drill for the bridge ground wire. So what I did was found the shortest distance between where the bridge was going to be sitting and the cavities, and that was shortest distance was going to be right here. So take my bit, put it in the drill, take it on the closest angle I can get, because it doesn't matter how close of an angle you get to almost straight across. As you drill in there, it's going to go down, and you don't want it to come out the back of the guitar. So drill the pilot hole down with a regular drill bit. Then took this super duper long drill bit and went in my pilot hole, tried to keep that angle down, and drilled down through, and luckily it came out about 1/4 inch up from the bottom of the cavity. Didn't go through the back, so I was quite happy about all that. So, mounting the bridge. I didn't show you about changing the nut because I've got a video on that, and you can look, if you subscribe, you can look back at my other videos and see how to do that. Common sense to put masking tape down here. Didn't have to show you how to do that. You just line it up, run it across. That way when you put your pencil marks on, you're not hurting anything. Alright, then you take a long straight edge. Now the scale, this is a regular scale, Fender scale bridge, so it's 34 inches from the nut to where the strings are going to come off of the saddle back here. So I don't know if you can see that, but right here where the strings will lay across the saddle, 34 inches from the nut. first thing to do is take a straight edge, run it along the neck, tight up against the neck. Draw lines along here, continuation of the lines of the neck. Same thing on this side, make sure it's flush up against here. Draw the line. Then, got that line down, take find the center of these two lines, make a mark. Then, that should be the center of your bridge down the center. Now to double check this, you also have these lines up here at this end. Do the same thing. Measure the distance, divide it in half, make a line, connect that line and this line. That should be the straight center line down your neck, which is where the center hole of this bridge this hole right here is going to line up on that center line. Now, I have my 34-inch line, so I eye this up as evenly as I can with the saddles. Okay, see if I can get a better shot here. Probably not. But okay, line the saddles up. What I did was the back of this cavity here, where the saddles, the brass saddles actually sit, this back part is what I'm lining up on this line. And I'm doing this the best I can. Yeah, I have a light here and I'm trying to illuminate this and using my rulers and making things as straight as possible. That's lined up here. My center line lined up through the center of the bridge, which by the way is the center of this center hole, is the center. Measure this across, it's 80 millimeters. 40 millimeters is dead center in this mounting hole. Okay. So, alright, there it is lined up. Saddles, holes. Now, what I do to kind of double check myself that I'm okay here is you can use a string. I'll use a string and run the string from the nut to the bridge saddle. But you can also do it with if you have a firm straight edge like this. I lay the straight edge in the bottommost groove of the nut and in the first bottommost saddle, and then kind of do an eye up, and you can do this with a string as well, and see what kind of a distance you have here between your string and the edge of the fretboard. Then do the same thing on the topmost string, in the saddle, in the nut. Now if you have a steady hand, you can measure these. I did measure these, and around the 12th, 14th fret, they're almost exactly the same measurement, and down at the 1st and 2nd fret, almost exactly within like a half a millimeter distance of each other, which leads me to believe that this bridge is set where it should be. Okay, next thing, have it where pretty sure that's where it's going to go. The thing is, if this ends up being way off, you can always refill these holes and reposition it. Gently hold it down so it doesn't slide. Trace around it so I have a framework to work with every time I'm moving it. Then I go back, make my center mark. I actually take the pencil and try to draw a circle inside of these, trace these holes. Then I took a black fine tip marker and made the marks. So you can pretty much see here that I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mounting holes, and they are ready to be drilled. Here's my ground wire, bridge to ground hole, which I can just take a piece of wire, and you can see it comes in here, so then I can ground this to the jack or anything really, and strip some of this wire out. Well, actually this is pushback, so push back so I have some exposed here, and just have this exposed wire sitting on top when I put the bridge on, and then the pushback cloth will be pushed back, so it's going to look something like this. Like that. That'll sit nicely in that little angled groove. Put this on top. Just like that. So actually I'm ready to drill the holes to mount the bridge. Okay, with my hip shot kick-ass bridge came a little packet of screws, an Allen wrench for raising the saddles if necessary, and some extra brass saddles. They come with several different heights. It's got different heights already installed on it, but it comes with these two as well, which are slightly different heights as well. And it comes with looks like two extra set screws for adjusting the intonation, 2 extra springs, and 5 of these beautiful screws. Now, as far as these 5 screws go, this is what we're going to be mounting. And they go in and sit flush in these recessed holes. So when I do my drilling here, I want to make sure that there's no way that, first of all, there's no way that this screw is going to possibly go through the body of this guitar to the bottom. So I don't have to worry about the screw going through. But when I drill the hole, I have to make sure I'm not drilling too far down. So what I want to do is take my bit and put a piece of tape on it to prevent me from drilling too far down. Now, I have a piece of tape on here from before. All right, so this part's going to be, the head of the screw is actually going to be sitting in the bridge in that recessed hole. So if I measure down from the base of that to the end of here, that's where I'll want to put my tape. That's as far down as the screw is going to go. So I just hold the screw with the tip there. Just lay my piece of tape right where the screw meets. And there we go. That's as far down as I want to drill. All right. Got the drill press set up. Got the bit in there. You can do this with a hand drill too. Just have to make sure you're being straight. And I have a punch here. I'm just going to make I'm not going to actually do the punch part, but I'm just going to make a little divot. This is a very sharp point in the center of these holes. Give the drill bit a place to start from. And have my depth stop tape there. Put a piece of, this is like craft foam you can get at the craft store. Just put that on there. Save the body from getting scratched up. Just orange coincidentally because I happen to have some orange because I like orange. Didn't buy it specifically to match the drill press, no matter what you might think. Okay. Once again, of course my viewpoint angles are not that great. If I do it like this, I don't know. Right. It's just easier for me to hold it here. I apologize if you can't see it. Okay. Well, here we go. success. Okay, holes are drilled. Everything looks like it's lining up quite nicely. If you can see, there's holes in there, but what I'm not going to do, what I probably should do, but I'm not going to do, is mount this and check everything out, because I am confident that my measurements were good. This looks good, the holes look good. I'm not going to drill in and out of this wood more times than necessary. Once I mount this with that ground wire on there, that's when I'm going to be done with it. And that's the way I do it. It's the way I want to do it. So think what you will of me. I really don't give a kick-ass bridge what you think. But I'm going to consider this part of the project finished. The bridge is going to be mounted. Next thing we have to do is test fit the pickups, and once that's done, time to do the finish sanding and put the finish on this bad boy. That's the part I really like the best. So that's what's coming up next. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Watch the rest of the piece base build. Peace.